Hello there everyone, welcome back to the kitchen for another episode of What's He Cooking. What am I going to make? No one knows, so let's just see what we've got and see where it goes. Today we're going to be making a carrot crumble with lots of seeds and other ingredients. To make this we're going to need ginger, onions, carrots, sumac, oregano, thyme, sesame seed, sunflower seed, pumpkin seed, ground flaxseed powder, ground flaxseed oil, cinnamon, chilli, coriander and star aniseed. We want to start off by chopping off the heads of the carrots like so, and then we want to skin them. So once they're skinned, then we want to get them chopped up fairly small and put them into a bowl. It doesn't matter, they're going in the processor, so just get them in there basically. Now that they're in the bowl, we want to get onto our onions, and we want to peel and chop the onions just small enough to go down the spout of the processor, because they're going to be chopped up really small by that machine. So now we've got them in the bowl, we want our ginger. So chop off a good chunk of ginger, whatever. I would have put more in, to be honest, but that's how much I chopped off, so that's how much I would have gone for. But I would I'd say definitely a good decent thumb size piece of ginger. So get that chopped up reasonably small and turn the food processor on. Get the ginger in there and wait for it to be chopped up small until it's not bouncing around, and then get the onions in there and allow them to be chopped up a bit smallish. And once they're going, then we want to lob it in the carrots basically, and they were wobbling the processor all over the place, so I've put my hand there to support it. So once they're in the bowl, then we want to start adding in our spices. So I put in a good tablespoon there of sumac, although I used a half tablespoon size, and again the same thing with the oregano, a good tablespoon size, get that in there. Then I used sesame seeds, so I want to get quite a lot in there. So I'll probably use 2-3 tablespoons there. And I want to get in a good, let's say a small tablespoon, and then 2 tablespoons of coriander powder. And then we want to get a bit of chilli powder in there. I will put a bit more in next time, so I will definitely make it a heaped half tablespoon, because it was really quite nice. It's a nice warm under flavour, but I can understand if you're not keen on chilli, then you'll probably like it just as it was, because that was really mild for me. Then I want to add in, the mixer's still going, so the processor's still going, so I want to put in about half a cup of sunflower seeds and half a cup of pumpkin seeds, and that'll do, and then get them in there, and pouring them in slowly because it's going to start pulling the mixture off the sides as I go, and you can see it all falling in there, and then I'll just let it all go in. Then add a bit of oil. So a good drizzle really. I mean, I didn't really want it oily, it's just, you know, to allow it to bind a little bit more, give it a little bit more substance. So pull it all off the edges and let it mix up again, and shake it about a little bit and do whatever. And then I did that about 2 or 3 more times just to give it a good mixing, and then I want to put it in the bowl. So once I've got most of it in the bowl, like so, I'm going to put in a little bit of a sprinkle of the aniseed water. I've been soaking the aniseeds overnight. I think that's been 2 days in that glass, and I leave them in the dark cupboard. And I add in about half a cup basically of aniseed water. Bearing in mind those glasses are quite small, so they're a bit smaller than a cup size. But that's my measurements at the moment. It seems to work best with the size bowls I've got. Then I'm going to add in a bit of the ground flax, that's just the coarse ground flax, a couple of tablespoons of that basically, and then I'm going to get in a good tablespoon of the ground flaxseed powder. That's a tablespoon actually of the ground flax powder, and then we want a couple of pinches of fennel, because it's a nice light flavour, and yeah, it just works really nicely. And then a couple of pinches of thyme, because that's always really nice. And then carry on just mixing. So I mixed it, I gave it a real thorough mixing, as much mixing as I can possibly give it really. I want to keep it quite dry still really. It doesn't need to be too wet. The carrots are wet enough as it was. Yeah, and I'm going to clean the side off here, just get it dry so I can put the baking parchment down. And once that's down, I'm going to spread it out. It doesn't need to be too thick. It's going to end up all crumbly anyway at the end of the day. So, you know, the thinner you do it, I'd say the better. I did make a really thick, almost loaf style, and it didn't come out the same. So definitely keep it, I don't know what that is, 1/4 of an inch thick, just 1.5 centimeters, something like that. That's about how thick it is. So it's not like super thin. And then top it with whatever you want. I've done these with finely chopped onion, but there's onion in there already. I put it in there this time as a mix. So yeah, and then I'm going to sprinkle on a bit of poppy seeds there, and I'm just going to put on a little bit of extra oregano on the top, and then I'll rub that in by hand, just to kind of rub it into the mix so the herbs don't sit on top and then dry, and then any bit of gust of wind coming in through the window ends up blowing all the herbs off and it makes a right mess. Now that that's done, get the lids back on those, and it's ready to be put into the dehydrator. You can see it's almost cracking there, it was a bit dodgy, and I'll put it on the tray. So once that's in there, I'll get ready. Oh, yeah, see it's cracked, so I'll just try and smooth out the cracks a little bit. Not that it makes too much difference, but you know what it's like when you're making something, you tend to go the extra mile. So yeah, once that's in there, then we're going to move on to the next piece. So we're going to get the parchment out and just put the rest on there and do the same sort of thing. Smooth it out, you know, loaf shape, whatever. And yeah, then we're done then, basically. Put toppings on it, don't put toppings on it, it's irrelevant. I thought I'd keep that one separate from toppings. Once that's in the dehydrator, then I want to put it on a reasonable temperature for about an hour. So I'm going to put it on at 145 degrees at first, and I'm going to leave that for an hour. So I ask Siri to set me a 1 hour timer, and then I'll come and turn it down to around about 115 to 120. I'll have a look first and see, you know, how it's drying. I actually had the onion bread in there as well, because I made another batch of that onion bread, so I put that in there, and I did the same with both, so I wanted to check to make sure that they were both reacting well. And that's it, so I'll thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy, and please let me know down below what you think if you've made it, and yeah, until next time, stay healthy.